Tonight you will climb into a machine for unconsciousness. It has springs, foam, fabric, and measured softness. Then you surrender control for 8 hours. Your muscles will loosen, your awareness will disappear, and your body becomes defenseless. Yet you will feel safe. That feeling is newer than sleep. For most human history, bedrooms never existed. Neither did mattresses, pillows, blankets, or locks. Night was colder, louder, and full of teeth. So how did ancient humans sleep without beds? The answer begins before humans. Every great ape builds somewhere to sleep. Chimpanzees bend branches into platforms each evening. Gorillas gather leaves into ground nests. Orangutans weave treetop beds precisely. Each night demands new architecture. They separate sleepers from insects and wet ground. Primatologist Fiona Stewart tested chimpanzee nests in 2011. She found nests offered more than comfort. Your love of soft beds has ancient relatives. But our ancestors did something dangerous. They left the trees. Trees had protected earlier primates from predators. Ground sleeping removed that vertical barrier. Suddenly, darkness belonged to lions, hyenas, snakes, and strangers. Why would an animal choose such vulnerability? The ground offered something branches could not. It was stable. Stable ground let heavier bodies relax completely. It supported deeper, less interrupted sleep. David Sampson and Charles Nunn compared primate sleep. In 2015, they found a strange human pattern. Humans sleep less than expected for primates, yet our sleep appears deep and efficient. We spend a high proportion in REM sleep. REM supports memory, emotion, and learning. Deep sleep repairs tissues and organizes information. But deep sleep creates an evolutionary problem. The deeper you sleep, the harder awakening becomes. Predators do not care about memory consolidation. Early humans needed protection before deep sleep became survivable. The first protection may have been humans. Groups transformed weakness into shared safety. Children, adults, and elders slept differently. Some fell asleep early. This variation created a living alarm system. David Sampson's team studied Hadza hunter-gatherers. They tracked nighttime activity for 20 days. Everyone appeared asleep together for only 18 minutes. During 99.8% of nighttime moments, someone remained awake. No guard schedule was required. Different body clocks created overlapping vigilance. Researchers called this sentinel-like behavior. Your restless grandfather may carry an ancient advantage. His early waking could protect an entire camp. Would insomnia feel different if it saved children? Safety also came from fire. Fire changed night into social territory. It produced light, heat, smoke, and movement. Predators often hesitate near flames and clustered humans. Warmth reduces the body's struggle against cold. Fire extended conversation beyond sunset. Richard Wrangham argued controlled fire reshaped human evolution. Cooking changed food, bodies, schedules, and society. Flames changed how humans could surrender consciousness. Fire did not create beds. Then, humans began engineering the ground. Plants rarely survive into archaeology. Leaves rot. Grass disappears. That makes preserved sleeping surfaces extraordinary. At South Africa's border cave, evidence survived. Lyn Wadley and colleagues studied microscopic plant remains. In 2020, they reported 200,000-year-old grass bedding. Broadleaf grasses were carried into the cave. People placed them near the rear wall. The grass rested over ash layers. These were not random plants. They formed areas for sleeping and working. Someone cut or pulled it. Someone carried bundles through dangerous terrain. Someone spread them beneath resting bodies. Comfort became a shared technological project. The ash may have provided another defense. Old plant layers were sometimes burned. Burning cleared debris and refreshed surfaces. This was not a mattress. It combined sanitation, insulation, organization, and comfort. What looks primitive was careful environmental design. Another discovery made that design stranger. At Sibudu cave, bedding appeared later. Around 77,000 years ago, people used sedges and plants. Those leaves contain insect-repelling chemicals. Sleepers may not have understood molecular chemistry, but they knew which plants repelled insects. Knowledge lived in noses, skin, memory, and conversation. conversation. One painful night improved tomorrow's bedding. Around 73,000 years ago, people burned used bedding. This likely cleaned living areas and removed pests. Beds became disposable technology. They were built, used, contaminated, and destroyed. That cycle sounds modern. We replace sheets because invisible life shares them. Dust mites, bacteria, fungi, and skin accumulate. Ancient sleepers faced fleas, ticks, lice, and biting flies. Some insects carried disease. Others simply destroyed sleep. Aromatic leaves and ash formed the chemical barrier. Fire formed a thermal and behavioral barrier. The group formed a social barrier. Grass formed a physical barrier. A bed was never just soft, it was layered defense. But caves were not universal bedrooms. Groups slept beneath shelters, trees, hide, or open skies. Mobile people could not carry bed frames across landscapes. They carried knowledge instead. They knew which ground stayed dry. They knew where cold air settled. They recognized animal trails and snake hiding places. They noticed wind before choosing fire sites. They placed vulnerable sleepers toward the center. Could your bedroom survive without wall or forecasts? Hadza shelters reveal how structures change sleep. Samson's 2017 research measured rainy season grass huts. The huts reduced nighttime thermal variation. They did not create perfect climates. They created more predictable ones. That matters when sleep removes control. Higher nighttime sound meant less sleep. Ancient ears could not switch off. A cracking branch might mean harmless wind. It might also mean approaching danger. The sleeping brain remained partly connected outside. Familiar sounds could fade into background. Strange hotel noises can still awaken you. Your brain evaluates safety before granting deep sleep. Temperature also controlled ancient bedtime. People did not sleep immediately after sunset. Gandhi Yetish's team studied 3 pre-industrial societies. They observed Hadza, San, and Tsimane communities. Sleep began hours after darkness arrived. Bodies waited as nighttime temperatures fell. Morning waking often came before sunrise. Sleep averaged roughly 5.7 to 7.1 hours. That challenges effortless prehistoric sleeping. Ancient people were not permanently rested philosophers, yet sleep followed natural temperature and light. Modern bedrooms removed those signals. Thermostats flatten temperature. Electric lights extend artificial day. Phones deliver social danger without movement. We built safer rooms, then filled them with stimulation. Was the mattress the greatest change? Probably not. The greatest change was private sleep. Ancient sleeping was visible, communal, and regulated. You heard breathing around you. You felt another body shift. You knew someone might awaken first. Privacy was traded for collective security. Later settlements changed that arrangement. Permanent houses created interior sleeping spaces. Raised platforms appeared across civilizations. Elevations separated sleepers from damp floors and pests. Frames also displayed wealth. Some people slept on decorated platforms. Others remained on mats beside them. Beds became technology and social signals. Egyptian headrests supported necks above sleeping surfaces. Roman households used stuffed mattresses when affordable. Medieval Europeans filled sacks with straw, wool, or feathers. Each material recorded geography, labor, and class. Softness was never equal. Even sleep acquired hierarchy. Yet the oldest principle remained: separate the vulnerable body from hostile ground. Add insulation, reduce insects, keep danger detectable, place trusted people nearby. Modern beds still solve prehistoric problems. Your mattress spreads pressure across joints. Your blanket creates a warm air pocket. Your pillow aligns a heavy primate head. Your walls block weather, predators, and strangers. Your alarm replaces a waking elder. Your smoke detector replaces a watchful nose. Your locked door replaces the protective circle. Your thermostat replaces careful fire placement. Technology did not remove ancient needs. It hid them inside furniture. Why do unfamiliar beds feel wrong? Because sleep requires more than softness. It requires prediction. Your brain learns safety's sounds, smells, and geometry. Change those signals, and vigilance rises. Researchers call this the First night effect. One hemisphere stays more alert in unfamiliar places. The response resembles a biological night watch. Even in hotels, your brain remembers exposed ground. That memory is not conscious. It is inherited uncertainty measurement. Comfort helps. Familiarity gives permission. Community once gave permission too. Ancient bedding reveals more than sleeping habits. It reveals planning. It reveals plant knowledge. It reveals hygiene. It reveals cooperation. It reveals comfort was never frivolous. A rested group traveled farther, remembered better, and reacted faster. Injuries could heal. Stories survived another generation. Perhaps beds helped build complex minds, or perhaps complex minds built better beds. Either way, the relationship became circular. Safer sleep supported learning. Learning produced safer sleep. Across generations, each improvement reinforced another. Grass became mats. Mats became platforms. Platforms became frames. Frames became laboratory-engineered mattresses. But the sleeper remains ancient. Tonight, you will lie down without checking for hyenas. You will not gather repellent leaves. You will not study wind before sleeping. You will simply trust the room. That trust was purchased through countless experiments. Some failed through bites, cold, infection, or death. Others became ash, grass, fire, shelter, and ritual. So what did humans do before beds existed? They built temporary islands of safety. They built them from plants, flame, knowledge, and people. The first bed was not furniture. It was an agreement with darkness. For hours, the group protected your helpless body. When morning came, you protected theirs. Your mattress is the latest version of that promise.